How can technology help students get better grades? Well, my whole YouTube channel is dedicated to providing videos to help dyslexic students achieve better grades. But this video is a bit different because rather than show a particular technology, I'm going to explain briefly how technology in general has transformed education for my own children. To do this, I'm sharing an extract of me teaching the students on my Touch Typing for Academic Success course, where I show students how technology helped my children to motivate them to want to learn to touch type. I am going to tell you a tale of 4 dyslexics because I think it's much nicer to actually put names to people and see how it changed their lives rather than me just telling you all this abstract stuff. So that is me with my 3 children. Amelia is my eldest, George is my second, and Evelyn is my youngest. And that was taken on holiday when they were all at infant school. Amelia had started in junior school, and we were just starting to see that they weren't finding school as easy as we thought we would. And then this is a few years later, again, we're on holiday because that's the only time I get photographs of all my kids together. And by this time, they're really starting to struggle. Amelia just really wasn't doing any work at all. George just couldn't read. Amelia could read, but she didn't enjoy it. George just didn't read. I actually thought Evelyn wasn't dyslexic at that time, but she is dyslexic. I worked that out later. And this is about 5 years later. By this time, I'd given up work so I could find all the technology that would help them. And they were doing well at school now. And now this is how my kids look. So this is 5 years later, and they're all doing really, really well academically. But I promise you, because I think it's really easy to say when your kids are doing well, oh, but they used to struggle. No, my kids really used to struggle, which is the reason why I gave up my job and I started to teach them myself, because I told you at the beginning, I'm dyslexic, but I did well at school. And so I knew they could do well, but the way the schools were teaching them wasn't helping them. So I thought, right, I need to help them. So they still went to school, but I really helped them in the evening. And here they are. And I'll just tell you, George was predicted 3 A stars at A level. He didn't take them because he's a pandemic boy. So we don't know what he'd have actually got, but he was predicted 3 A stars. Amelia ended up getting an offer of a place at Cambridge. And honestly, if you'd spoken to me at year 9, I wondered whether she'd even get 5 GCSEs. So she really turned it around. And Evelyn never really struggled because she was the youngest and she's very dyslexic. But by the time she came along, I knew how to help her. So she didn't really struggle in the same way. But just to prove to you that I'm not making it up, this is Amelia's Year 6 report. Now, this might be like some of your Year 6 reports. You know, it talks about she dislikes reading. She loses focus during independent work. What else does it say that you might relate to? You know, her progress in comprehension is erratic. She loses concentration and runs out of energy. She has a good vocabulary when she speaks, but it doesn't come on the paper. She can learn her spellings for a spelling test, but she doesn't then use them when she writes. You know, these are things that I am sure some people say about your work. So that's definitely what Amelia used to be like. But I can also show you, these are her GCSE results. So this is a photo of her actual GCSE results. And for English language, she got an A star. And for what's even more amazing, in English literature, not only did she get an A star, now this is a child who did not read a chapter book until the summer between year 7 and year 8. She was rubbish at reading, but she went and got 100% in that exam, 100% in that exam, and dropped 1 mark in that exam. So she went from being rubbish to really good because she started to use this technology. And I want you to be able to do something similar. So if I had more time, I would tell you more about Amelia, but I think that was enough. And this is my son. So this is 2014, and these were his grades. So English D, Mathematics B, Science C, French B minus, History C, Geography D, Religious Studies C. And then in 1 year, he went from B plus to A star. So these are these new grades, D to C, from C to B, A star A, from C to A, and from D to A.
And here is a quick update. George got 3 A stars in his A-level results, and he's off to do pure maths at university. And the fact that he got the highest marks you can get in A-levels just amazes me, because he's failed more entrance exams in his life probably than any other child.
I genuinely hope that learning how this technology has radically improved my children's academic performance will motivate students to put in the practice required to learn to touch type, because once they can touch type, they too can utilize these fantastic learning tools that will help them get better grades.